When you think of modern or contemporary Danish stuff, it's always those damn chairs and lamps that come to mind. They are actually beautiful. But did the Danes invent anything worthwhile in the past few decades? I mean, it's nice that we have Lego and insulin, but let's dig a little bit deeper and look what else is coming out of here in more recent times that you probably didn't know of. I have a few cool things to talk about, such as food, bikes, software and tech, so let's do this. Food. The first one, the most Danish thing, and one of my favorites are these things called Floatable, which are just translated into cream buns. Now I know, you might think that this is the most basic Danish thing ever, so where is the innovation here? Well, these bad boys are made by Glean, and they are completely plant-based, so they don't hurt anyone aside from your waistline. Traditionally, these buns are made using eggs and probably some other animal stuff, but these are made out of aquafaba, which is just chickpea water, which might make you raise an eyebrow or two. But I assure you, they taste absolutely amazing. I love future food, and to think that this amazing snack is made from a byproduct is completely mind-blowing. It's amazing what the team at Glean achieved with this. They totally reimagined the foundation of a Danish classic, but without fundamentally changing it. So if you're ever around Copenhagen, make sure you try one of these out. These are seriously absolutely amazing. Next is another personal favorite snack of mine, dried and mushed dates in different shapes and forms. This might not sound too enticing, but holy shit, these are great. Extremely convenient and are super easily available literally anywhere in the Kingdom of Denmark. One of the main brands is Costus, which has been producing these things for a few decades now. Imagine a non-shitty, fairly healthy and tasty snack that you can literally buy anywhere. Both kids and adults love it, and it is affordable. It's so good that it made it into a video about foods that I made about here in Copenhagen. You can check that out here. So why is this great Danish innovation? Well, it covers 2 points. 2 points of the Danish design trifecta, simplicity and functionality. They might not be so elegant. Actually, they might look anything but appetizing at first, especially this thing. While the carry-around snacks are easy to sort of understand, but I would argue that this pålæg version is the most innovative out of the whole product line. Pålæg literally translates into cold cuts. And what does one do with cold cuts? They put them on bread and sandwiches, right? I think you might be figuring out where this is heading. I mean, have you ever thought of putting a cold cut made out of dates on a slice of rye bread before? I surely haven't. And I bet that you haven't either. So this is true innovation in its purest form. I literally have never seen anyone eat this on bread before in real life, only in the marketing materials. So we're gonna experience this for the first time together. This is how it looks like. Is it tasty? Is it innovative? Heck yeah! Bike sharing. Okay, so while Danes did not invent bike sharing, there's a novel idea here that goes like, bikes belong to the city. Meaning that after a drunken bender, some people don't see much wrong with taking a random bike home. So technically, these smarty pants Danes have been sharing bikes without any fancy apps or subscription models, just purely by borrowing them from the city itself. But did you know that the hugely huge Donkey Republic bike share company started out here in Copenhagen? These orange bikes that you see are actually now available in 11 European countries with over 12,000 bikes. I think this is super nice that this has been so successful, not just in a bike-friendly place like Denmark, but in many other European cities as well. And I love how it is just super simple to use and just hop on these bikes if you need a ride. I just don't really love their powered by rye bread type of slogans on the bikes. But as you saw before, I also don't get putting date slices on my rye bread. So there's clearly a pattern here of me not getting it rye. Thank you. I'll be here for the next few minutes. Tech. So while Denmark is a fairly small country, it produces world-famous movies and TV shows. But did you know that it's also a mini powerhouse when it comes to tech and software? For instance, Unity, the game engine which runs a ton of mobile games, was created here by a bunch of Danes. And while the headquarters of the company has moved over to Silicon Valley in the recent years, they still maintain an office here in Copenhagen. It's not just mobile or VR games that use Unity, but it is also used for bigger titles such as Cuphead, Tarkov, Rust, Cities Skyline, and the list goes on. And while we are on the topic of Unity, let's have a look at Playdead Studios, which is just a short bike ride from Unity. Like, literally a really short bike ride. Floatable is a Danish studio based out of Copenhagen, and their last published game was running on the Unity engine, and it was a real treat. The studio's name might not mean a lot, but if you're into indie gaming, then their two titles, Limbo and Inside, might ring a bell, or they should. Their games have nothing inherently Danish within them. It's not like that they make bicycle simulators where you fuel up on the rye bread sandwiches, but some of the Danish design principles are ingrained in their games, such as simplicity, functionality, and elegance. Both of their games are based on the fairly simple mechanic where you have to keep going right and find a way through. These games are a ton of fun to play and are absolutely gorgeous. And I'm not just talking about the art style, but their ability to tell a story, build a rich world, and create an emotional response from the player without using a single written or spoken word. It is super great stuff. The last one for this video is Pleo, an expense management fintech solution that started out here in 2015. Now, if you think that expense management is boring as hell, then yeah, you are right. But that is exactly why what Pleo has created is so great. They just make it stupid simple to pay for your company expenses like travel, food, or subscriptions. I think that this is an interesting company because their foundational principle is based on a very Danish thing: trust. When you get a job here in Denmark, they give you a lot of tools to get your tasks done, which is to be expected. But you often get the keys to the office, to the shop, or the cafe that you're gonna be working at on day one. And often they didn't just hand you a manager's credit card and their PIN number to use it if you need to buy something on a whim. Now, Pleo is the extension of this trust principle to the point that they truly incorporate it right into their brand. I got one of these cards from work, and I must say that using it is just a bliss. Super simple and kinda impossible to make a mistake when you're sorting out your receipts. So yeah, keeping track of your purchases and receipts is boring. But with a bit of trust and great branding, Pleo has made it almost fun. Alright, that is it for this video. I could talk about some other great stuff, like that the founders of Google Maps are actually Danish, or that we have great digital banks such as Lunar, but my studio rental time is almost up and okay, bye! Anyway, I just wanted to say the usual shtick, so please subscribe, like this video, and comment if you have any other questions, and I'll see you next time. Bye!